What's good? What's good, people? Let me adjust this real quick. Yeah, I think that's a little bit better. I bumped the tripod and the camera a little bit earlier, so it's kind of off, but it doesn't have to be perfect here. Might as well get a little bit of variance, a little bit in my background. You can see what else is behind me. And maybe you might not even be watching me, you might just be hearing it. But yeah, so in this one, I'm gonna talk about social media, because I was just kind of thinking about this a little bit. So social media, to be 100% honest with you, I don't really use social media that much. I have no Instagram, I have no TikTok, I have no Twitter. The only things I really use are YouTube, and I use Facebook a little bit, but to be 100% honest, I hardly use Facebook at all until kind of starting this channel, basically. And then Facebook, I used it to essentially try out content before I put it on this channel. So I would post some random things, see what engagement that got from my friends, because my friends on Facebook are high school mostly, or to be honest, college mostly, a little bit of high school, and a tiny bit of middle school, a tiny bit, and then a good amount from grad school. Pharmacy school is grad school for me. So I have those friends, and I would post content just to see what the sentiment of people was in terms of some of the things I've posted, and to see where MGTOW was, and just other things I was thinking about in relation to that. Because I just basically said, okay, my Facebook is it's a representation of general society, which I kind of was. There's a lot of pharmacists on there, a lot of doctors, what else, nurses, just because that's who I went to college with. And then there's my high school friends, which I don't even know all of what they're doing, let's be honest, but they're all around the place. Yeah, so I just said that's a representation of general society. And then my YouTube is a representation of basically a lot of MGTOW people, a lot of college dropouts, it seems, not gonna lie. It seems like a lot of you guys are went the way of college, realized it was kind of BS, and left it. Yeah, college dropouts, literally. To be 100% honest, that's what I've been getting. And that makes sense. So maybe these algorithms are bringing us together. I'm not sure, but I just wanted to talk about that in general, that kind of thing. So echo chambers, right? We're all kind of relatively similar, it seems like. In some ways, but not in all ways. I'm pretty sure it's impossible to be that similar in all ways. But so I don't know if so younger MGTOWs. Sorry, I'm saying a lot because I'm thinking about this on the spot. There's no script on this one. But the younger MGTOWs, is that the younger MGTOW description, right? Is that the younger MGTOW description of people that, mostly college dropouts, who it seems to go on YouTube to learn some things? Because maybe we've realized that the traditional model of schooling kind of doesn't really prepare us for what the world is. And even if it does, it prepares us for one small set of what the world is. So we went to school that prepares us for one small set of how the world is, but then we don't learn about anything else. So a lot of these people go to YouTube, they're trying to learn about other stuff, get red pilled in the process of learning all this other crap, and then we start to follow certain MGTOW channels because we realize, okay, this person is kind of on my path a little bit maybe, so let's just see how they're doing. So that might be the younger MGTOWs, at least that's what I've noticed with myself and the people I'm attracting to this channel. And then you have the older MGTOWs though, like a lot of those people have been divorced, they went through one divorce or two divorces or whatever, and they're like on that path, so they're like, okay, we went along with what we thought we were kind of supposed to do for this long, then the trajectory changed for them later in life, and then they go on those channels and they're checking in with each other to see what their paths are like. So that actually represents most of the MGTOWs, it seems like, the most of them. And us younger guys are learning from those guys. And us younger guys are building up our channels a little bit now. But it's mostly those guys that have the channels that are getting the views and, like, at least for the past years. But now these younger MGTOW guy channels are, like, getting more views and stuff. So that's what it kind of seems like to me. And that's what I've been noticing. So social media use. To get onto that, I wonder how much do you guys actually really use social media? Like I said, I don't really use it that much, and to be honest, here's my phone. Like, my phone is literally an iPhone 5C. This is like almost 8-9 years old at this point now. I think it's 8 years old. At least 8 or 9, at least 8. And I'm wondering, social media really took off. So if you guys are younger MGTOWs around in your 20s, social media took off when we came of age. So I'm wondering the influence of that and if it's really positive or negative. Because I can connect with you people, which is cool. But then you get not connected at all with your, like, general cohort. It's almost like, what is our general cohort? We don't really have one anymore because or if we do, it's online. So for example, my channel says you guys that watch my channel apparently also watch Taylor the Fiend, which I just checked because he doesn't have his face on there. So I don't really know too much about him, but just in terms of his videos, I watched 2 of them earlier today, and that guy's freaking hilarious, honestly. That dude's funny as hell. That dude's super funny. And I just found out his channel seems to be new, because I just found out about it. And yeah, and then just looking at the comment sections on that, I kind of like, the comments are pretty funny. So I don't know who's leaving those comments, but it seems to be, those are people around our age. Like in terms of 20s, maybe just getting into their 20s, maybe just leaving their 20s, maybe mid-20s. Yeah. And most of that stuff is about women, right? So, I'm still iffy about that stuff on women because I think there's a lot of other issues afoot here, other than there's just women. One of these being social media, probably, which is why I'm making a video about it. But yeah, so I'm kind of confused. I don't know if social media will ever go through a reckoning. And I'm not sure where I stand on it, because I don't really use it on my phone. I barely use my phone at all, to be honest. I mostly, even when I'm going on YouTube and Facebook, it's on my laptops. I have 2 laptops, and I use those. When I go out, I just carry my phone just to carry my phone. I don't use Facebook or use that I don't know. I don't really use that at all. But YouTube is a huge social media for me, so I use that a lot. Like, I use that a ton, to be honest, and I consider that social media still. Then I do want to start a business on it, I guess. So yeah, there's that. But I'm wondering, maybe, because it's like, if you don't like the general world in general, or you think it's boring, for me, I thought the quote unquote real world, because I never used social media at all. Even YouTube, I didn't use that much until I got to pharma school, realized that, okay, this is kind of stupid. And then the reason I started going on YouTube a lot more is like learning about inflation and learning about money. Like learning about money is how I got into a lot of the social media stuff in general. And then I got red pilled from that. So I didn't even, it wasn't like dating, it wasn't any of this crap really. It was just learning about money. And then I started watching channels like Graham Stephan. I started watching channels like Tech Lead. And then I was like, okay, wait, so you can actually make a YouTube and legit have it kind of take off like that. And then that's when I was like, okay, let me try to create content myself. Then I started watching other channels that were starting up and other channels who seemed to all of a sudden gain some success. And I tried to follow that path a little bit. So I figured, okay, that's when I kind of started watching. And then because I was trying to start something new, I wasn't, I guess, talking to women, I guess you could say, even though I kind of was, but I wasn't talking to him seriously. I was just talking to him in general. Like, I have friends that are girls, right? I'm of the belief you can have friends that are girls to me. Like, I already know I'm not gonna marry him, I'm not gonna date him necessarily. I mean, it's what, 50 to 51% women on the planet. Like, in my opinion, how are you not gonna, like, to me, it's just hard to have not many friends that are girls. And some of them were into technology, and I was switching my path of my career because I want to do technology now instead of healthcare. So because of all of that uncertainty and stuff like that, I wasn't really talking to women. But then I got into some of this red pill content the woman stuff, because I think red pill's bigger than women, but I got into some of this women stuff in terms of the content online. And then I kind of realized, okay, this stuff makes sense. But then it grew. Then it just kept growing. And then COVID happened. And then I'm talking to a lot of my friends, and I'm realizing, okay, so men and women really think different. So when COVID happened, I was like, okay, wow. And then MGTOW freaking grew like huge. So I think I'm just part of that trend of MGTOW growing huge. Because when I started really getting involved into social media, one of the reasons I went back to Facebook was because I was sitting at home bored, right? And then I started my channel. So at first I was kind of sitting at home bored, and then I started my channel, and then there became a reason for me to do the Facebook thing. And then once people started learning online and doing work online, I was like, okay, so we're just moving toward this online thing, whether people like it or not. So I just tried to get ahead of it in a sense, and I just said, okay, this is all bogus. I thought work was bogus in general, straight up, because when I was in school and I realized, okay, this is work as a pharmacist, I was like, so this is gonna be work. We're giving people bogus drugs. I lost respect for work in general. So once that happened, I was like, okay, I lose respect for this, so now everything's gonna be online. Let me just get online and just like talk to people online, because I don't want to work online. But if I have to do work in general, why not just do what I want online and call it work? Like, straight up. You know. And then and then this channel was kind of born, to be honest, off of that. And then my Facebook using was born out of that. That's pretty much Yeah, but other than that, I really don't know if I even really love social media that much, to be honest. I never use it on my phone. I don't even use YouTube on my phone. It's on my laptop. Yeah, and I don't know. That's basically kind of what I wanted to say, because I've watched a couple of videos about people talking about social media and how it changed things kind of. I'd say it changed things a lot, but I would say people like us don't really like respect that change. But we also recognize that it's happening, you know. So like YouTube was always a learning thing for me. I never the social media stuff, I never really took much into that. But so many people are using it now, so it is what it is. Um, yeah, and might as well grow my channel on it. Yeah, that's basically what it is. Like, hopefully this gets big so I can live stream. Cause to be honest, I don't have much respect for a lot of what's considered work. And this is this is a person who did so much schooling and like tried to go to so many fields. And it's cool, not gonna lie. Like, some of it's cool, but like the career aspect of it to me just seems like stupid. Um, but maybe I was in the wrong thing, so I am gonna go back to school and do computers and stuff. But even that is like, okay, so I just gotta make money. And that made sense. Like, that's just a fact of life. Okay, we gotta make money. That's a fact of life. But once I realized how that shit worked, and like all these companies that I wanted to work for, like what they were doing to make money, that I just lost so much respect for it. I'd rather just like farm or something, to be honest, and like grow actual real shit. To be honest with you, because and then just do some YouTube stuff, like, and get money that way. Because a lot of this bullshit, like these high paying jobs, are like bullshit. And I'm saying that from someone who tried to do that too. So I'm not saying that from someone who has no experience. Like, I'm saying that from someone who tried to do some of this stuff, and I have I have friends who are in these fields, and no one thinks, like, maybe we're too young or whatever, but I mean, it's bullshit. Everybody was like, okay, this is BS, but we have to do it for money. And then I was like, okay, let me learn about money then. And I learned about money, and I'm like, okay, so no wonder all these jobs are bullshit. It's because our money itself is kind of like not. It's like bullshit. I can't call it complete bullshit because, like, I bought these books, right? This phone, at least the plan costs money. The phone itself probably doesn't cost that much money now because it's an iPhone 5C. This cup costs money to drink water. And even to get this water costs money. So I can't say the money is BS. But I feel like people are moving to social media because of the like falseness of the quote unquote real world, if that even makes sense. Like, the BS of it, I can't call it fake because it is the real world, but just the BS and like the nonsensical nature of it. Yeah, and it's funny how all these entrepreneurs are leaving. So what are the entrepreneurs doing? They're trying to go to space, and they're trying to digitize the world. That's what a lot of these smart entrepreneurs are doing. And they might not be conscious of it, but maybe it's subconscious. If most of your world is that much BS, what are you going to do? Of course, you're going to try to leave it literally or change it in some sort of way. Like, in this way, they're just digitizing it. Because smart people go and learn about comp sci or whatever, They digitize driving, even digitize making money. Like, money is going to be all digital now. Like, does that make sense to you guys? Digitize social interactions. yeah, so that's basically it for this one. Hope you guys like it. And I'm just gonna try to grow the channel because I don't know. That seems to be the most legit thing to me right now is trying to grow this channel. Any other work is so stupid to me. Or, I can't say that because, I'm glad this home was built. I'm glad things are being built and stuff. But I'm just going off of almost like natural instincts now. It just seems a lot of things are off. So I just want to talk about it. And then, yeah, and I'll just keep you guys posted as long as I can, basically until YouTube